Hello and assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to talk about types of training and the importance of development and training. So without further ado, let's begin. There are three basic types of training. There's induction training, on the job training, and off the job training. Now if you have already watched my motivation chapter videos, then you will have known that we have already discussed about induction training when we are discussing about non-motivational factors, in one of which was training itself. So we discussed a little bit about training over there. What is training, how does it help to motivate employees, and what is induction training as well. So but of course, in case some of you haven't watched that, so we're gonna start over again. What the types of training? Induction training is basically a type of training for new employees to introduce them to their job and working environment. It can give employees confidence in their abilities to do a job from the outset. Hence, it may motivate them and boost their performance. So, to overall boost their performance, lets them know, okay, they can understand the culture of the workplace, the norms, the rules, how everyone works, and helps them, motivates them a bit, and boost their performance. On the job training. On the job training is a type of training provided at the workplace itself. The employee is taught by experienced employees through observation and work shadowing. So at the workplace itself, it's all the training is provided at the workplace. You're not taking somewhere else, and he is taught by experienced employees of that particular firm. They may be given instructors or guidance to carry out certain work during the training. So during the training, they will be given some instruction manuals or guidance to, okay, you have to do a certain task, maybe to see how they are coming along with their training. And overall, it is cost effective, as employees do not leave the workplace. You don't have to go somewhere else. You are being trained at the workplace from experienced employees themselves. Quality of training depends on the instructor, the one who is the experienced employee who is teaching the new employee, or the ones who need training basically. How much better the experience, even if the employer, if the one who is giving the instructor is an experienced employee, they may have some bad habits which might be transferred to them, and they might not be much suitable instructor. So the quality overall depends on the instructor, and the instructor at that particular time would be productive because they will be training the staff, so they won't be carrying out their usual duties unless their duty is in itself training other employees. So that's all about on the job training. Then finally we have off the job training. This type of training is provided away from the workplace at a college, university, or in an agency. It can take the form of external courses such as lectures, seminars, or open learning. Broad range of skills can be taught from this of the job training. Expert trainings have up-to-date knowledge about business activities. So the ones whom you go to away from your job, outside your business firm, you go to expert trainers who have this updated knowledge, and they transfer those to you, so that you are innovative and effective. You are up to date. You have the latest skill set that you must need to remain competitive in the current market situation, current business situation. And however, it is very highly cost. It costs a lot. It's not easy to go to some other workplace, college, university, or agency, because expert trainers do charge a lot of fees, and work is not done at that time. When the particular time when you are being trained, you can't do your particular job, and there's also a risk of poaching, as employees may find better job elsewhere. Poaching is basically when the employees leave after they have been trained. They leave and find some other good job. So you can prevent that by having a contract of employment, where if employees leave before their period ends, then they will be fined by law. So these are the types of training we've discussed about that. Induction training, it's only given to new employees. Do keep that in mind. That's one of the disadvantages as well, that it can't be given to all the other employees, but it is for new employees. It gets them used to the culture, the working conditions, to get them used to their job, and motivates them. On the job training is like on the workplace itself, given by experienced employees of that particular firm itself. So it's cheap, not that expensive. It is less expensive, cost effective. Of the job training, it provides more skills. On the job training, it all depends on the worker, and if you don't have any qualified worker or skilled workers, then you can't do this on the job training. Of the job training, you can have expert trainers. You'll be taught a broad range of skills and up to date knowledge. The knowledge that you gain in this particular course will be very high you know high quality, but the only drawback is that it's high cost. The costs are very high, the work is not done, and there's a risk of poaching. So that's all about the types of training. Now moving on to the last topic of this HRM chapter, and then we'll be wrapped up with complete unit 3, the last lecture. Is importance of staff development and training. Now, what is the importance of staff development and training? Why do we train employees? Why do we have to train employees? So it is considered to be essential for a progressive company, though it may require considerable investment. So if you're continuously progressing, you need some other, there's some technological companies, you can say technological firms like software industries. You need to be constantly up to date with the latest software, latest machineries, and stuff like that. So you need to be trained constantly to be up to the standard of the current business situation. You are continuously evolving and along, just catching up with all others. You're catching up with your competitors and all. Training refers to the process of acquiring the essential skills for a job. Hotel receptionists, managers, chefs. While development may be a focus on broader skills such as decision making and managing people, dealing with customers or guests, or specific attention to employee needs and career aspirations. So that's the basic difference between training and development. In case someone is curious or a question comes in past papers about what is the difference between training and development. So training is about the essential skills for job, whereas development is a much broader term about decision making skills or managing people, dealing with customers, or perhaps just to fulfill their self-actualization needs. Training and development basically addresses employees' weaknesses and skill gaps, in order to bring staff to a higher level of skill, which is important in a service business. Okay. It also improves worker performance and confidence and helps to build a flexible, more agile workforce. So if you have some low level workers, and they have the potential to be trained, they have the potential to learn, then you can just train them to a higher level and have a better flexible workforce, flexible to changes in demand patterns and all, to changes in technological as well. It also the one benefit that I find the most important of staff development training is motivation. Motivate employees. They are able to perform better as they feel valued by a company. Maslow's higher needs of esteem and self-actualizations, and Herzberg's intrinsic motivators. All these motivational theories, both motivational theories, both these theories come to play, and they both agree with training as a form of motivating employees. As they feel valued by the company, they'll perform better. They can identify their own potential and their self-actualization and reach their maximum potential as well. Develop better customer relationships as well. So if they are more better skilled, they're more motivated, then they can also form some good customer relationships. Employees become more productive, efficient, and responsive. So all these benefits also come with training. They are more productive, they can work harder, work in less time, and be more responsive to changes in technological changes, etc. Employees become more self-reliant, which reduces supervision required. So when you are trained, you don't need some more supervision. So supervision costs can be reduced. You don't need supervisory roles. And finally, it makes employees familiar with new technology, so there are new ways of working or production methods available to the business. So that you are being continuously innovative and catering to the current market situation. You are just okay. If there's new technology, there's a better option of efficient production. Your competitors are going for it. Then you also train your employees so that they can also come. They're also familiar with new technology and stay competitive in the current market. So that's all for today, and we finally covered this whole HRM chapter. The next unit is marketing, and after that we have operations and finance. So look forward to all that as well. And thanks for staying with us. Allah Hafiz.